Hello Taurus, and welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time, welcome. Looks like the opening of the month shows you coming to a realization about something. There's a truth revealed to you. The Ace of Swords represents the one truth, the one idea, the one thought. Because swords represent the mental element, they represent thought, experience, knowledge, ideas. When there's just the one thought, the one truth, it's sort of like, it's truth with a capital T, I call it. And you can see it's crowned here, it's ringed in these victory laurels, it's being handed to you by the universe. It's kind of like the Excalibur sword. And really during this time with all this eclipse stuff going on, it's really highlighting our subconscious stuff. So there's truths being revealed to you, with all of that Neptune and squaring Saturn stuff coming, resolving. There's a lot of things that are going to be able to be revealed during this time. A lot of new insights, new like aha moments or revelations. You might be able to see through things that you didn't see before. So that's Ace of Swords. Also, Ace of Swords is new beginnings. So it might be a new way of thinking, a new thought. Usually like when you have a revelation or an aha moment, it is a new thought. It is a new beginning, a new way of thinking. It's sort of like when the skies become clear. So that's opening up September for you, Taurus. And then this is Eight of Coins in reverse. Eight of Coins in the upright position means loving your job, loving your work, sort of whistling while you work, creating money by putting your head down and just working on stuff. In the reverse position, there might be agitation at work, or you could even get a new insight about something of why you're frustrated at work, or that you might not be as happy about your work situation. This guy kind of represents like the labor movement or the artisan, the creator of wares. But in the reverse position, it kind of says that you might be frustrated with something's irritating you about work. And it could have to do with a water sign, someone in authority, especially because it's Queen of Cups. So water signs are either Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. The reason I say that is because this is you working, especially as an earth sign, and then this is the water sign. You two are back to back, and kind of like she's seeing it that way, and this person's seeing it this way. So whether you're male or female, this represents you, Taurus. And because this is a queen, it's more than likely female, but again, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. See if there's someone at work who is a water sign, especially if she's in a position of authority. There's some way that you guys are just not seeing eye to eye. Or you've got Four of Coins showing up. And Four of Coins can sometimes mean like fears about money, or feeling like you've got to hold on to every last coin, every last cent. You can see in this card, he's got, this coin blocking his heart. He's got a coin on his head, and he's got a coin in the Rider-Waite. He's got one foot on each coin. But Four of Coins means it's a stable card. So it means that there's stability, but it also means that you're kind of clinging to money, and therefore no more is coming in. It's sort of like maintaining the status quo, and it's a little bit fear-based. So it's saying I need to hold on to every last cent, but it kind of keeps you stuck. It doesn't allow new stuff in. So whenever I see this card, I always sort of mention, don't let your preoccupation with money block your heart. If you can loosen up, because this card is very rigid, if you can loosen up around your relationship with money, you may be able to let more in. So what's going on in the middle of the month, I see there's a major change happening. This is Tower. And this is like a change that comes out of left field. You can see it's like a lightning bolt that strikes the tower. And the tower is what's established, what's reliable, what we think is permanent and fixed. Tower says, no, I'm sorry, it's not. This is a time of change, of upheaval, of uproar. It can be a positive thing if you're ready for change. If there's something that you want to change, this can be a great card of like, now's the time, now lightning striking now. But in the reverse position, Taurus, it's saying to me that you may have some doubts or fears or resistance to whatever this change may be, or that you might be fearing a sudden or dramatic change. There might be something where I'm getting that in this card, there's people leaping out of this tower. I mean, it's really interesting. It's very much depicting the 9/11 situation, and it's kind of in the middle of the month here. So you might get some Tower energy, and it's seeming like you're afraid of something changing or ending. It doesn't necessarily always have to be destructive and terrifying. Sometimes it can be like, I'm tired of this old town, let's get out of here. Or it can mean like, I'm ready to break free of this habit I've always had. Or, you know, it's got this sort of electrifying, strong push energy to break out of the old patterns. So that's happening mid-month for you, Taurus. In the reverse position, again, says maybe doubts or fears or resistance to the change. See if you can embrace the change. Because you have a lot of good stuff coming up after Tower. It's sort of like after the storm happens. You know how there's always like that nice feeling after a storm or a rainstorm. You have 7 of Coins, which is the Millionaire's card. It's also the Harvest card and the Farmer card. These are all coins, so this is all money. That's saying that you may just need to wait for it to ripen on the vine. If there's been like a promotion that you've been wanting, you may need to wait for it to ripen, for the time to be right, because just as in the Farmer card or the Harvest card, the time needs to be right to harvest the crop, because if you pick it too soon, it's sour. It's like if you think about grapes. If you pick them too soon, they're sour. They need to spend time on the vine ripening. And really what this card is about is taking time out to reflect and think about and reassess and reconsider. It's all those Mercury retro words. This card especially talks about that, because he takes, while his crops are developing, he takes time out to think, like, is this the harvest that I want to be harvesting? Or, you know, are these the seeds that I want to continue planting? Is this what, if this is what my initial actions were, is this the consequence or the reward that I want to be taking away from it? Do I want to sow different seeds? Is there enough? It's all the questions that a farmer might think of. So, but really it has to do with money, value, assets, all of that. So that's coming to you mid-month as well. You might reassess your financial situation. And then you have Star followed by 10 of Cups. Now these are 2 very beautiful cards right next to each other. Star is full of hope. That's really one of the main meanings of this card. It's also a card of self-acceptance. You can see in the card she's naked here. And that means accepting yourself just as you are. And without any other trappings, without any other clothes, status, title, reputation, ego, any of that's all stripped away. And she recognizes her own value and place in the universe, just as like the bird has value, the tree, the water, the flower, she's sort of, and the star, they all have their own intrinsic value and therefore radiance. That's what Star is all about. And it's also a card somewhat of like self-acceptance, but just kind of self-forgiveness too, of like, if there's something that you feel like you're coming up short with, Star helps you break through that and say, you know what, I am enough just as I am, just as the stars are, just as the bird is, just as the tree is. It's really accepting yourself just as you are. And that therefore gives you hope. And then with 10 of Cups, this is the most amount of cups that can appear on a card. Cups represent heart energy and emotion. So 10 of Cups, it's a pretty literal card in terms of its imagery. You'd see 2 people who are full of love. It's a card of love, of family, of joy, of peace. You can see in the card the rainbow's end is right where these 2 are, and they're catching it with their hearts or the cup here. So it's a card of absolute emotional fulfillment, of joy, of peace, of harmony within the family. So enjoy that in the middle of the month. If there's any resistance to what I'll call friction here or sudden change, you're going to come through that in the middle of the month as you reconsider things. There's a place of self-acceptance, realizing your own value and radiance, and you've got this lovely family peace, joy, happiness, and love. You know, 10 cups, 10 filled cups. It's a great card of happiness. And then towards the end of the month, you've got some Swords cards here, followed by 2 Cups cards. Swords, again, represent the mental element, ideas, thoughts, knowledge. And Cups represent emotion, heart, energy. So Page of Swords represents someone who, it could either be the younger side of yourself who feels very convicted about something, very like, this is what I believe, this is what I believe to be the truth. It could even, in this line, I'm seeing, if you see, it's sort of the same sword that is being handed to you from the universe here. It could be like a revelation that you recognize and realize at the beginning of the month, turns things upside down and changes things dramatically for you, and you come out with new resolve. You're actually carrying that sword. So Page of Swords is someone who stands up for a certain belief and is willing to fight for it. He's got a lot of optimism. He's got a lot of willingness. He goes out and says, this is what I believe. I'm going to declare it from the mountains. Kind of reminds me of like a college student who wants to save the world, or has this idea and has this belief and wants to go out into the world and declare it and fight for it and just persevere in that direction. And then also you have Four of Swords, which represents the soldier who is taking a time out from battle and rethinking things. Kind of interesting that it's in this line. Here's work in reverse. And then here's reassessing things in terms of money. And then here's taking a time out. This card is like R&R, rest and relaxation, recharging your batteries, resting to fight another day. It's like hanging your thoughts up on the wall to take a moment. And sometimes new information comes to you when you take the time out to reflect on things. And then you gain and gather strength to go out for when you're active again. You actually have more energy from participating in this card. So interesting combination of willingness to consider an idea, maybe the truth that changes things for you, and then also just reflecting on things. You might want to, these might be old ideas that you're hanging up on the wall, and you're just pursuing this one. You might just need time to reflect on things. You've got, sort of this crusade, perhaps, that you want to go after. Or this could be a young person around you. So an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, who's saying, I've got this idea and you need to think about it for a little while. Or it could just be the younger side of yourself, Taurus. Generally, Page of Swords is air sign, but because it's in line with this here, it could also be the younger side of you. Then we have Page of Cups and Five of Cups. One thing I'm going to say really quick is you've got two pages here. Now, pages represent openness. They're sort of young cards. They're the cards that are less experienced, more naive. They're right before the Jack. They're usually the assistant to the Jack. So pages are full of optimism, willingness, energy and enthusiasm, willing to go out and try things. This is related to the mind and this is related to the heart. So sometimes this card is called infatuation or puppy love. It's looking an optimism and a willingness to look at what makes your heart leap, what things made you happy sort of as a younger person or as a child, what kind of really fills you up and makes you happy, what makes you motivated and passionate about things. There's the Queen of Cups here in reverse, and then Star, and then Page of Cups. So even if you're meeting with resistance in terms of emotions or with someone in an authority position, by just accepting yourself as you are, you might reignite. Yeah, I'm allowed to have joy. I'm allowed to have happiness. When I was a kid, this is what made me happy. I used to love to dance or sing or whatever fills your heart. Maybe reawakening that. But I want you to consider, too, these two pages are surrounding the Four of Swords, which is all about reflecting on things, taking time out, taking time to think things over, resting and relaxing. That may give you some renewed young energy, some optimism, some willingness, some enthusiasm. And at the end of the month, there's some loss I see that you may be focusing on. You can see in this card, there's the Three Cups where either blood or wine has been spilled. And this is a card of sorrow, of grief, of sadness. So it's really a card of allowing whatever sadness to come up, allowing a recognition of this loss. But one of the things I always point out in this card is that that's not the only thing that exists. There's these two cups. If the person turns around, you can see that these two cups are still standing. There may be a relation for some of you between this Page of Cups energy and this Five of Cups. In other words, you may be feeling feelings of infatuation or love, but that's also reminding you of a loss that could happen in tandem because there is sort of this blue energy, which is sort of usually signals the blues or just things on your mind. So you may consider that even, and there's all this red energy. So there's this passionate, red is passionate, vital, you know, the sort of like blood energy or fire. It's active. And then blue energy is cooling and depressive. So it's almost like there's a push-pull between your emotions here at the end of the month, Taurus. Both something that you're newly optimistic, enthusiastic about, but also something that you might be mourning a loss about or grieving. Just remember that in this card, if it's about focus. You can focus on this. It's good to let out the grief, but when you're done grieving, there's still love available for you here if you turn around to see it. So that's my reading for you, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to put those down in the comments, or any comments at all. I love replying to those. If you liked it, you can give it a thumbs up, or if there's a Taurus that you'd like to share this message with, please feel free to share it. If you've subscribed, thank you. And if you'd like to subscribe, you'll get notifications of new videos I do in your inbox every month. So thanks for watching, everyone. As always, yours in the stars.